Today we're going to be talking about the different activities you can do in the game and how you and different people will find the same activity either very fun, unfun, or miserable to do. So let's get into it. It's a fun one today. Let's start with gathering, because honestly, I think for every new player that you have to gather in this game if you want to make money. Yes, you technically can make money without ever gathering, but gathering is just extremely efficient and just it's a guaranteed way to make money, and there's no risk if you don't go to risky zones. Even if you do go to risky zones, you can sometimes make it back with a big haul, but not that biggest haul. But so what we're going to be doing is we're going to be doing a little meter thing here where we can talk about how different people find things fun. So first up is gathering. So gathering, for most players, okay, let me just explain right here. This is happy, this is good, this is, you want to do this all day, every day, this is the best thing ever. And then down here is, oh my god, I'm going to uninstall the game, this is awful, I hate this game, how could you make me do this, or why did this happen to me? Okay, so red bad, blue good. And we start here in the yellow. This is the neutral zone. This is where, well, it's not really good or bad, it's just kind of a starting zone, okay? So, most people that gather, they see it as a chore. They see it as something they hate. They don't want to do it. That puts them right about here. They don't want to gather. It's a waste of time to them. It's not fun. It's absolutely awful. It's super boring. Okay? Now, for me personally, I started playing this game because of the gathering. So for me, gathering is right about here. It's pleasurable. It's enjoyable. I can chop down trees 12 hours a day and not ever be bored. I just love chopping down trees. I don't really chop trees much anymore, but I do skin and break rocks and mine and sometimes even fish, but fishing for me is actually kind of like more right here. I don't really like fishing. It cramps my hand and it doesn't make much silver, so I'm not very happy with fishing. But everything else right about up here, okay? So now for most players, when they find, like most players are down here, remember, in their happiness scale, when the players find, you know, that juicy 0.3 node, they go up here. They are happy, they're getting rich, they're getting paid, they're gonna make big buckaroonies tonight, okay? And so that's like a dopamine hit right there. That right up here is when you find that rare node or that untapped node. People love that stuff, okay? That's what makes gathering good for nearly everybody, okay? But then here's where I come along, and they're gathering in like the red zone or the black zone, right? And they may get a few rare nodes. I'm sitting here just happy, chilling, you know, in my blue zone, because I rarely gather in yellow zones anymore. Blue zones are actually more profitable, believe it or not. I have several videos detailing this specific thing that I'm talking about. But I'm just chilling here. So most of the time they're spending time here. So they're like right in here, and then, oh, I found me a nice node. Oh dang, oh dang, oh dang, oh dang, haven't found nothing. And then what happens is, oh no, I got ganked, and they end up down here on the bottom. Because they got ganked and they got killed. So what happens, not only did they lose the big payout, they lost all this time here being happy and all this time being sad. Alright, so that's why I personally don't go to the red or black zones, because I am a solo player. I don't have friends to guard me. I'm not in a guild, okay? I'm a gatherer, so I'm just going to chill here, and it's not going to go up or down. It's just going to stay where it's at, and I'm totally fine with that. But see, I do a little something extra. I watch anime, and depending on the anime I'm watching, I'm either way up here if it's good, or I'm still here even if it's not good. It's something to distract my brain, so it never goes down. My happiness does not just go down ever while gathering in a blue zone, and that's why I personally think that blue zone gathering is just way better in general, because it lets me stay in the green happiness zone. It sometimes in the yellow, okay? That was me, that wasn't your game, that little boop noise. But then you got the red zone people, and they're like, well, yeah, well, when I find the good stuff, I'm always up here, bro. I'm like always up here when I make a lot of money. I make more silver per hour than you. And see, I checked their murder ledger when they claim this. And their murder ledger says that they're actually down here because they die. and their murder ledger actually shows that they're in the red and that they're using their credit card to buy back into the game after going bankrupt. That's just my observation on gathering, okay? But at the same time, you know, whenever I'm gathering, right, and then I realize I've been gathering for a full week and it's time to refine all my stuff and sell it and turn in those juicy journals that I filled, guess where I'm at? I'm way up here. I am giggling and buying 8.4 items and buying the most Gucciest loot and the rarest mounts and buying upgrading islands, buying premium. I'm all the way up here, okay? Whereas whenever someone gets ganked and they lose millions, they're down here. They're ready to uninstall, they're ready to quit for a few months. They're absolutely not having a good time. So, what does that look like? Well, let me just kind of just give you a quick little demo of just like gathering for a week or so. Just like a week of gathering. Let's see what we got here. I have a refined chest where I wait for the refined days. Yesterday was stone refining day. Let's see if I can find that. There it is. Here we go. Stone refining day. That was like 1.5 million. This is just one round of journals for me. This is from journals. This is not even from gathering, okay? This is filling journals. 1.5 million. Easy. All right. Then I have this is 1.18 million. You know, I've got 2.68 there in skinning, 2.42 million in fiber and metal and trees, and then this is just dungeon. These are from running dungeons, so that doesn't really count. That's a whole separate week. You can see that actually running dungeons did make me more silver if we count it. 4 million, 3 million, and 1 million. But gathering is still more fun for me because it's less tedious, less like I don't have to pay attention to it and stuff like that. So let's get to the next activity now. And the next activity is, let's talk about PvP. PvP is a popular subject. It's why people play the game. It's why people do what they do. So for me, Yellow Zone PvP is always up here, even if I get downed, even if I get overwhelmed, or have to wait 3 minutes to get back up. 3 minutes is nothing for me. I don't have a job. I don't have responsibility. I don't have a family. I don't have a life. 3 minutes is nothing for me. When I down someone in the yellow zone, 3 minutes is absolute hell. 3 minutes is 3 minutes they're never going to get back. 3 minutes is, why am I playing this game? This is stupid. Why is this guy ganking me in the yellow zone? I can't believe he's done this. Okay. Now, here's the thing that I find weird, that I find very unusual. When they get ganked in a black zone and they lose their loot, it's only like right here. They're frustrated that they lost, but it's understandable that they lost. But in a yellow zone, it's down here. It's like I've blown their mind, and they can't believe they can't believe how evil I am. I don't view it as evil at all. I view it as, hey, I'm in my zone. I'm having my fun. I'm having my enjoyment. I'm having a giggle, mate. You know. And if I'm blowing up transporters, oh baby, those repair bills make me so happy. All right. But you know, that's just PvP. Now for most people, some people they like to ZVZ. For me, ZVZ is down here because in a ZVZ, I've tried, like, you guys don't realize, I've tried all this stuff before. I've joined guilds, I've played with people, I've done the ZVZs, I've done all the crap, and I hate it. For me personally, I am down here hovering over that uninstall button because I'm being screamed at the top of their lungs because I don't have the wrong or the right passive on my helmet, even though mathematically my passive is the correct passive, the damage passive. But other things too, like my weapon choices or my armor choices. It's like, bro, it's me playing the game, not you. And you know, it's ridiculous how upset people get in these ZVZ situations. And then also another thing too that I find frustrating is, I'm gonna go way down here because this is a huge gripe for ZVZ. I actually listened to the shot callers. The shot callers would be like, we're going northeast, we're going northeast, we're going northeast. Why do they repeat it 5 times? Just say it once, okay? And then they're like, okay, dive, 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 dive. You know, everyone on me, on me, on me. And then I do as they say, and then I die. I just straight up die, and I lose my gear, and I followed orders, and then I look around at everyone else, and no one else followed orders, and they're still alive. So why the hell am I listening to the shot caller and be like, well, it's a bad shot caller, and it's like, I don't really care if he's good or bad, okay? Orders are orders regardless if your boss is a good employee or not. Whatever, right? So I just don't like ZVZ. I'm down here. Get me out of this game. Let me play something else. I don't like it. I don't like feeling like an insect. When there's 100 people on my screen, I am just a freaking number. I'm just a name. I'm just I'm just another literal who in the crowd, okay? I don't feel like a hero. I don't feel like an individual. I don't even feel free. I'm enslaved to this guild, and they're making me do a bunch of crap, okay? But to other people, they're like, well, this game's pretty boring if you don't have friends. So they join a guild and they make some friends, which aren't friends. It's just people using you for transactions. And then, you know, they do some, like, group dungeons and stuff, and they're getting loot, they're getting paid, they're getting some gear, they're getting some fame. And then they win a big-ass war in their ZVZ, and they're just really hype about it, and then they go to their hideout and they get paid from their guild master, and then suddenly their guild won some season tournament thing, and they're heralded as the best players on the server, and that's generally how most people feel like it is in guilds and ZVZs, but I don't see that, because to me, being in a guild that's the #1 guild in the world or whatever, I don't give a fuck about that. I don't care about that. That is not entertaining. That is not fun to me. That is like, well, I did my part. I'm like right here. I'm like, hey, I did my part. Congrats on the glory. No one's gonna care in 10 years. Okay, but the other part of me is like, well, they're getting all the glory for all the work I put in. So why, you know, there's no individuality. It's all like a one-man team. And I would understand that if the one-man team was all like me, but they're not. You got the guildmaster's cousins, girlfriend's uncle, you know, yelling at you over voice and getting all the loot, and you're not getting your fair share of the loot, and if you speak up, you get kicked out. You know, there's just a whole lot of e-drama. Like, the drama for guilds is way down here for me. It literally... I have hated the guild drama so much in every MMORPG to the point where I'm even below this chart. I'm like way down here. I'm below it. I'm like, let's quit video games forever. That's where I'm at. So that's why I don't do guilds. But other people are like, well, you know what? You know, it's not about how rich you get. It's about the friends you made along the way. But congrats to them for being able to make friends, I guess. Congrats to them for that. But what about other kinds of PvP? Let's talk about Mist PvP. All right, so I get my 5.1 set. I'm going to the Mists. I'm clearing some loot. I'm clearing some, you know, some camps. Getting a little bit of what is it, might and or whatever, favor. And you know, I'm doing okay. And then suddenly, even though my set is worth like 50,000 silver, an 8.4 dagger user comes out of nowhere and kills me. Well, I couldn't do anything about that, so I'm down here. I'm like, well, there's literally nothing I could do. I couldn't run away. I couldn't fight back. I'm just dead because this guy has, you know, a 200 million set, and I have a 50k set, so that's understandable. That's fine, you know. But the thing is, I'm never, ever, ever going to bring that kind of an expensive set out anywhere, ever, where I can lose it. I grew up poor. I grew up in the ghetto, and when you grow up in the poor and in the ghetto, you look at money and funds and resources differently than other people. Rich people see it, oh, it's just fake money in a video game. It's whatever. If I lose it, haha, lol, someone got my stuff, XD. Whereas, as a poor person growing up in the ghetto, never living in a house before, any kind of loss, even like 10,000 silver lost, hurts. It is painful to give what you earned to someone else who you don't feel deserves it. Even if I go without a mount into the black zone with a flat 4 set and die, which only cost me like 20,000 silver, and I still die either to a Zerg or even just someone with a counter build, it still feels bad to me. But there's masochists out there that when they enter PvP, even if they lose, they are happy. They are glad, and they're in their, you know, they're in their zone. It doesn't matter if they lost because they think that they got better at the game somehow, or they feel like that the PvP is the only reason to play the game in the first place, and they're up here. They're having happy joy times, okay? But not people like me, okay? People like me are like, well, here's another thought too, is like, even if I PvP'd with the most expensive set and killed the richest players and got their loot, I would maybe be like right here, still in the yellow, because yeah, I'm killing people and I'm getting paid for it, but it's a huge risk, it's a huge gamble. And personally, I can just make more money on my crafter. When I'm on my crafter, I log in for 15 minutes, I do my crafting, I sell my goods, and I log out. Guess where I'm at? I'm up here, because I'm making money efficiently, I'm making money fast, I don't have to deal with anybody, I don't have to do any kind of traveling or watch the edges on my screen, I can watch anime while I craft, I can literally do anything else than pay attention to the damn game, and that puts me up here. And then if my crafter is making oodles of money, hey, I'm way up here. I'm like, hell yeah, I'm having the time of my life. This is why I'm playing the game, okay? But to other people, crafting is some sort of mega chore. They don't want to level it up. They don't want to put in the effort to do the math. Math bad. Math real bad. Math uninstall bad. Math, oh my god, never play video games again bad. Right? So they don't like to do the math. They're down here in the red. They don't like that kind of aspect of the game. And, you know, that's fine. Everyone's different. I'm different. I'm mostly different than most people. Like, my opinions and the way I view things and the way that I play video games are probably unique at this point. I have not found another soul on this planet that thinks the way that I do. And if you feel like this, you need to speak up. Stop lurking in the shadows, man. Come on out. Let's join forces. Get in the Discord, man. Let's go. Let's start trolling people. Now, speaking of trolling, stream sniping. Let's talk about stream sniping. Well, stream sniping is against Twitch's terms of service, so if you value your Twitch channel, that's a big no-no. No one wants to lose their Twitch channel, but me, I'm just a YouTuber. I'm allowed to stream snipe. It's not against the game rules. You can't get banned for it. So, if I stream snipe someone with like 1 viewer, I'm way up here. I'm way up here, okay? Way up here, right? And then if I stream snipe a big boy, oh man, that's why I play this game. Oh, I'm having the time of my life. This is super fun. It doesn't have to be any kind of stream sniping either. It can just be any kind of disruption, right? You got someone doing like a giveaway, okay, on their stream, and they're in town. Well, here's me. I'm pelting them with snowballs, right? Or casting flame explosions on them, okay? I'm having fun, you know. But for most the streamers, like, oh no, I'm getting hit by snowballs. What the hell? That's rude. I hate you, Soul Benji. Or they get stream sniped, and oh my god, you watched my screen. This is stupid. They should be banned. I'm not going to play this game until SBI changes this. How dare they screen watch me even though I'm broadcasting voluntarily to the entire world where I'm at in my location. So, as you can see, this is called sadism. People are miserable. I'm happy. But at the same time, if I'm miserable, people are happy. So you got to understand, that's just the way it is in Albion Online. Someone has to lose. When you win and you get their loot and you pick up their corpse and nothing trashed and they lost millions of silver, well, the guy that lost millions of silver is down here somewhere, okay? Maybe he's even lower further down depending on how poor he is. Maybe he credit carded his whole set and that was his entire paycheck for the month. And he's uninstalling because he's done. You stole all his hard work. He's from Venezuela. He saved up for 3 months for that set, and then he was going to go double it in like 10 minutes, but he didn't watch a Soul Benji guide, so he died. And now he's all the way down here. We're all the way down here now. He is just like plotting revenge in real life, you know, or something. Okay. But that's just how happiness works in Albion Online based on different activities. I don't know how to explain this any clearer. There's things that I like to do that I find super fun that you probably wouldn't like, and the things that you are willing to do that you think is fun or gambling or worth the gamble to have fun, I find absolutely nauseating and miserable and tremendously boring and like worth uninstalling over. But that's just how it is. Those are the different ways that people have fun in Albion Online. I'm Soul Benji. Thanks for watching. As always, be everyone stay swole. If you want to support me, click the join button right down here. It's a button that's right down here. It's $5 a month. You'll get access to private, more personal videos, advanced guides, advanced ways to make silver in this game. A video that I recently put out for members is an advanced flipping guide. It'll teach you how advanced techniques on flipping the market so you can make a lot of silver doing basically just buying and selling and checking the market prices and getting opportunities to flip things to sell them back at a higher expense. It's a pretty good guide. I can't really release that to the public because if I did, then it would get 10,000, 20,000 views. Everyone would start doing it and then no one would profit. But because I only have 230 channel members, only like 40 of them actually watch those videos or something. Sometimes maybe 100 of them do, but essentially most of them don't even put it into practice. So it's pretty damn safely assured that if you want to learn something like that, and there's a playlist, you can go to my playlists. It's even open to the public. You can see every video on there. And by the way, this channel membership thing, it's so that I don't have sponsors on the videos. I'm not telling you to use a useless VPN or play stupid cell phone games like Hero Shadow Wars or whatever. With that said, click the video on the right side of your screen. Make sure you're subscribed because I put videos out all the time. I read every comment, and I will see you in the next video. Take care.